And welcome back here on the Farm Hour, here on a Tuesday, interview time with Rory Lewandowski from the OSU Extension Office here in Wayne County. Rory, as always, a very good morning. Thanks again for taking the time and joining us here today.
Appreciate it, Ron.
Our topic today is going to be end-of-year employee evaluation, something that every business does, good or bad, depending on how well you've done that year, but we're going to be talking today specifically about employee evaluation on the dairy farm. Now, I know in many businesses and organizations, the end of the year signals an annual employee evaluation or review, and like I said, good or bad. Why should a dairy farm manager specifically, who oversees employees, whether they're maybe family or non-family, consider an end-of-the-year evaluation? You know, what does, I guess specifically when you're talking about a dairy farm manager, what does that evaluation involve?
Yeah. Well, certainly, again, good, dependable labor is important for the success on many of our dairy farms. And as you pointed out, that can include both non-family and family members. We generally think about employee evaluations as one method to talk about employees, about job performance issues, whether that's how they've been working in the milking parlor, how they've been, mixing and delivering feed to the cow, cleaning the barn, whatever some of those tasks may be. But again, a time to talk to them about their job performance issues, make sure the supervisor and the employee have the same expectations and goals as they go forward. The question really becomes, is an end-of-year evaluation the best tool to accomplish this? So recently I've been reviewing some monthly newsletter articles written by Bob Milligan. Bob is a senior consultant with Dairy Strategies, LLC. He deals with the topic of employee evaluation and management. It's kind of his specialty. And one of the statements that Bob makes in one of his articles is that most managers, supervisors, and employees alike all dread the annual performance evaluation. In fact, there's research that says that these annual reviews actually have little value and can actually be counterproductive.
So should farms then do away with the end-of-the-year employee evaluations, Rory? What makes an end-of-the-year evaluation meeting counterproductive? I'm going to throw another one at you.
Yeah.
Is there something else that can be done maybe that would help both the farm manager, supervisor, and the employee, something that's not so dreaded? I know I threw a lot at you, but yeah. I guess, to recap, is it something that should be done away with? And if so, what could take its place?
Sure. Well, I think often what makes those end-of-year evaluations into something that's dreaded and counterproductive is that the focus tends to be on what the employee did or, is currently doing wrong. And sometimes it's the first time that employee may be hearing about that issue, so it catches them by surprise, kind of sets a negative tone for the meeting. In the case of you're the supervisor and you're only having a once-a-year evaluation, you're saving up a list. It's being compiled through the year. It's of things to bring up at this meeting. So again, Bob Milligan, who works with employee management and supervision, suggests that this really is the wrong approach. He advocates that there's value in an end-of-year meeting with employees, but the content should be different from a performance evaluation. He says an end-of-the-year meeting should be a stay meeting.
Okay, what is a stay meeting exactly, and how does it differ from a job evaluation or, what you would call a performance review meeting?
Right. Well, an end-of-the-year stay meeting really involves sitting down with the employee, and again, this can be both non-family as well as family persons, and discussing their future with the farm. So you're trying to set a really kind of a positive tone. So a stay meeting is really all about the employee staying put and continuing to contribute in a positive way to the farm. The tone of this meeting, again, is positive, it's forward-looking. This meeting should discuss the employee interest, and particularly as they relate to what job responsibilities maybe they want to increase or maybe other job responsibilities that they would like to have or grow into. So discuss the knowledge and skills needed to add these new job responsibilities or to help that employee do their current job better. Develop a learning plan for that employee to help them reach that goal. So this could include maybe shadowing another employee, attending an educational workshop, or obtaining some type of certification, maybe taking advantage of some online learning, maybe it's reading some articles or a book, maybe it's supervised practice with a certain tool or implement or procedure or other options.
Well, that sounds good. Certainly it has a more positive tone to it, if nothing else. But how does this help the farm out if that employee is not doing the job the way it should be done?
Right. So the key, again, to making this end-of-the-year stay meeting is successful is that this isn't the first and last meeting that's been held with that employee during the year. So this stay meeting builds upon a systematic commitment by the farm manager or supervisor to improved employee performance and communication. So your goal then as that farm manager or supervisor is to build a more motivated and engaged employee. That again will result in better productivity. So how do you do that? Well, to do this, the farm manager or supervisor is regularly communicating with the employee. So the goal is really continuous performance improvement. You're not saving up a list of things that you spring at the end of the year meeting. You're going to meet on a more regular basis. So going back again to Bob Milligan and his kind of workforce performance work with his Dairy Strategies company, he said the farm manager needs to focus on 5 areas regarding employee performance, and that's providing positive feedback, providing job clarity, providing performance feedback, and then celebrate success and offer some career orientation.
Our guest in studio, Rory Lewandowski from the OSU Extension Office in Wayne County. Rory, you mentioned 5 areas specifically. Can you go into detail on those 5 and give some examples?
Sure. So providing positive feedback to an employee throughout the year is important. So you're going to meet, again, on a regular basis. And research shows actually that employees who have received recognition and praise within the last 7 days show increased performance, have higher customer satisfaction scores, have better safety records, and are just more engaged at work. So that positive feedback, though, needs to be specific, not just, hey, good job in the milking parlor, but rather something like, thank you for your attention to detail. I noticed you made sure that the pre-dip always had 30 seconds of contact time before you wiped it off. So really focusing, the employee knows you really noticed. So it takes work on the part of the manager, obviously, to do this. And then providing clarity is all about being clear and consistent about job duties and task expectations. So if an employee is unsure about what to do or how to do something, this obviously creates frustrations for everyone. So provide training. Provide some written operating procedures.
Rory, I remember you saying something about performance feedback. That sounds more like some kind of a performance review or evaluation. I mean, correct?
Right. Yes. So performance evaluation or performance feedback involves discussion about how an employee is performing, how well they're doing a particular job or task. So the caveat is that, again, it's not just a once a year. It's not happening at the end of the year. You're providing that feedback on a regular and consistent meeting with the employee. So some farms really like monthly performance meetings, and those are very common. Some managers, though, actually maybe every week are going to provide a check-in and let's see how you're doing, talk about any issues that might be there, what can we do to get better. At a minimum, though, these should be quarterly meetings. So again, it's not just a once a year, you're meeting on a regular basis. And then at those meetings, provide feedback on performance. Again, be specific, outline your expectations for that next period, and discuss any concerns on the part of either you as the supervisor or that the employee might have.
The final 2 points were to celebrate success and to offer a career orientation. Celebrating success seems self-explanatory, but Rory, can you offer more explanation about the career orientation and how that exactly fits in with employee management?
Sure. Well, again, celebrate success is just the reminder to the farm manager to look for and then celebrate the individual success. Good job on finishing that certificate program that we talked about, or good job on going through that training procedure. You can celebrate team successes. So maybe the milking crew achieved a somatic cell count goal. Celebrate that. Or maybe on a farm level. Hey, we got a conservation award as a farm. Let's celebrate that. Again, Bob Milligan says that celebrations do not need to be elaborate, but they should be genuine and timely. Now, offering career orientation is really about, again, employee retention on the farm, about getting that employee to stay put on the farm so you don't have a lot of turnover. Provide reasons for that employee to stay with the farm and see employment again on the farm as a career path. So part of that's creating compensation plans, certainly, but another big part is really providing an advancement and growth opportunities. And part of that is engaging that employee in the farm, helping that employee to be committed to the farm's visions and values.
All right. Where can someone get more information about what we talked about today, Rory? As always, give out your info.
Yeah, well, contact me at the Wayne County Extension Office. Our phone number is 330-264-8722. Or again, check out our webpage at wayne.osu.edu and then click on the Agriculture and Natural Resources tab.
More to come here on the Farm Hour in just a moment. Once again, our guest in studio, joining us from the OSU Extension Office in Wayne County, Rory Lewandowski. Rory, as always, thanks again for coming in.
Thank you, Ron. My pleasure.